The wind howled through the mountains, slamming against the ambulance as it made its way down the icy road. Paramedic Sarah Green gripped the dashboard, her knuckles white from the tension. Her partner, Tom Davis, fought the steering wheel, each gust of wind threatening to send them off course. The dispatcher's voice crackled through the radio. Possible stroke victim. Every minute counts. Then, suddenly, Tom slammed on the brakes. The ambulance skidded. Sarah's heart dropped as her gaze locked onto a figure standing firmly in the middle of the road. A German shepherd, eyes filled with an unsettling intensity, didn't budge an inch. The dog wasn't scared. It wasn't aggressive. It was waiting. Tom honked the horn. Nothing. The dog's muscles tensed as if it had been expecting them. "Go around it," Sarah urged, her voice trembling with urgency. "I can't," Tom replied, frustration building in his voice. "We'll slide right off the mountain in this weather." Without hesitation, Tom stepped out into the freezing air, his breath turning to fog. He approached the dog slowly. "Move over, boy. We've got an emergency," he called. The dog didn't flinch, just backed up slightly before barking, almost as if it was calling them to follow. Something about the dog's behavior made Tom hesitate. He had seen enough in his 15 years as a paramedic to trust his instincts. This dog wasn't afraid. It was purposeful. "This isn't a game, Tom," Sarah urged from the ambulance. "We're losing time." But there was something in the dog's eyes that stopped Tom from rushing it. Maybe it was the way it barked again, more urgently this time, and trotted toward a barely visible path off the main road, stopping every few steps to look back, waiting for them to follow. As Sarah watched, her heart skipped a beat. They had to follow. What Sarah and Tom didn't know then was that this dog, this German shepherd, would lead them on a journey that would change their lives forever. And the bond between a man and his dog would defy every expectation, shaking the very foundation of what they believed about loyalty, love, and the healing power of animals. Acts of Kindness Stories brings you this unbelievable tale, a testament to the extraordinary courage of a dog, whose devotion might just save more than just a life. Don't go anywhere because the journey is just beginning. After that fateful moment on the treacherous mountain road, paramedics Sarah Green and Tom Davis had no choice but to trust the silent command in the German shepherd's eyes. The dog, steady, resolute, and unyielding, turned and began a measured trot down a narrow, scarcely visible trail. In a split-second decision born of years on the job, Tom and Sarah abandoned the conventional route to follow the animal's determined lead. As they maneuvered through the biting wind and slippery turns, every heartbeat and flash of lightning seemed to echo the urgency of the situation. The landscape, harsh and unforgiving, became a stage where nature and human resilience intertwined. The dog's purposeful pace suggested a destination known only to him, yet somehow familiar, a hidden route that promised hope in an otherwise desperate hour. Down the rugged path they drove, adrenaline fueling every decision. Minutes later, the ambulance reached a secluded clearing near a worn dirt trail where an elderly man lay on a fallen log, his face etched with pain and confusion. This was Robert Mitchell, a patient in the throes of a severe stroke. His left side was numb, his speech slurred, and his vital signs unstable. Robert's eyes, clouded with fear, briefly met the calm, determined gaze of the canine companion who had guided them here. The connection between the man and the dog was palpable. In the midst of chaos, as the storm raged overhead, Robert reached out weakly, his trembling hand finding solace in the warm fur of the dog. That simple act conveyed more than words ever could. It was a silent testament to years of loyalty and unspoken understanding. The dog, later identified as Rex, seemed to embody a lifetime of training and instinct, a living reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary help comes from the most unexpected sources. Back at the hospital, news of Rex's incredible act spread quickly. The emergency team, led by Dr. Amanda Carter and supported by nurse Emily Johnson, was initially caught in a dilemma. Hospital policy strictly prohibited animals from patient care areas, citing concerns over allergies and infection control. Yet, the data in front of them was irrefutable. Robert's condition had improved markedly in the moments when Rex was near him. Vital signs stabilized, blood pressure began to ease, and even the rhythm of his heart showed signs of returning to normal. Within the clinical chaos, a heated debate unfolded in the corridors of the hospital. Administrators, including Mr. Thomas Reynolds, argued that the rules were in place for very good reasons. However, many in the medical team, drawing on years of first-hand experience, insisted that Rex's presence was more than a mere anomaly. It was a lifeline. Nurse Emily Johnson recalled the unwavering calm on Rex's face, and Dr. Carter presented charts that tracked Robert's vital signs over the course of the night. Each graph and monitored heartbeat told the story of a man whose recovery was accelerated by the unconditional companionship of his faithful friend. As the discussion grew more animated, the hospital's long-forgotten history began to resurface. In an old archive tucked away in the dusty back rooms of the medical library, records emerged of a pioneering program from decades past, one that had harnessed the healing power of therapy animals to aid stroke patients. The original protocol, developed by a visionary physician whose name had faded from everyday memory, had shown astonishing results. Now, with Robert's dramatic turnaround, the echoes of that lost era resonated through the sterile halls once again. The archival documents painted a vivid picture of innovation and compassion. They recounted the story of a breakthrough in stroke rehabilitation, a method that had been ahead of its time. The records detailed how a specially trained service dog could act as a stabilizing force, not just emotionally but physiologically. With every measured step and gentle nudge, the dog could trigger a cascade of positive responses in the patient's body. These studies, now rediscovered, offered undeniable evidence that the bond between a man and his dog was not merely sentimental but could be life-saving. Meanwhile, in Robert's room, the transformation was undeniable. Surrounded by vigilant staff and the soft beeping of monitors, Robert clung to the presence of Rex. The dog lay quietly by his side, his eyes never leaving the man he had saved. It was as if Rex had become an extension of Robert's own will to live, a living bridge between his fragile state and the promise of recovery. Every time a nurse adjusted the foredrip or a doctor examined his brain scans, the results told the same story. Robert's heart was healing, his strength returning in tandem with the comforting presence of his canine guardian. The palpable change in Robert was mirrored by the shifting attitudes among the hospital staff. What had once been viewed as an inconvenient breach of protocol was slowly transforming into a profound lesson in empathy and innovation. Stories of Rex's heroism rippled through the hospital, tales of how a determined dog had navigated stormy conditions, defied rigid policies, and ultimately steered his owner back from the brink of disaster. These accounts sparked lively discussions in break rooms and hallway conversations, inspiring many to reconsider the true meaning of care. Outside the hospital, community members began to rally in support of the compassionate approach. Local businesses donated supplies for Rex's care, and residents wrote heartfelt letters that were posted on the hospital bulletin boards. The public response was overwhelmingly positive. People from all walks of life, those who had once questioned the necessity of a service animal in a clinical setting, started to see the deeper value of this unexpected intervention. The movement was no longer just about saving one life. It was about rethinking what it meant to heal, to care, and to connect. Amid these developments, the medical team worked tirelessly to craft a new framework, one that integrated the lessons of the past with the realities of modern medicine. Dr. Carter led discussions on implementing updated protocols for animal-assisted therapy, citing both historical evidence and the real-time data gathered from Robert's case. Detailed plans were drawn up for controlled visits, specialized areas for therapy animals, and rigorous health screenings to ensure that the risks were minimized. It was an ambitious initiative, aiming to formalize what had begun as an extraordinary act of loyalty. Inside the bustling corridors, the team's efforts were focused on one resounding truth. The bond between a patient and his service animal could offer healing that went far beyond conventional medicine. Every monitor reading, every softened facial expression, and every shared moment between Robert and Rex underscored the potential for a paradigm shift. The hospital's long-held policies were being challenged not out of whim, but out of a deep-seated belief that healing is holistic, encompassing the physical, emotional, and spiritual dimensions of the human experience. Throughout this intense period, Sarah Green and Tom Davis found themselves reflecting on the chain of events that had unfolded. What began as an unpredictable roadblock had led to the revival of a pioneering method in patient care. Their experience had become a living narrative, a testament to the power of instinct, compassion, and the unwavering loyalty of a dog named Rex. In that shared moment on the mountain, and in the subsequent hours of frantic hospital debate and heartfelt discovery, every participant learned that sometimes the most profound solutions come from nature itself. Every detail of this unfolding story, from the ancient records uncovered in the hospital's archives to the freshly drawn-up proposals for a new therapy protocol, spoke of a renewed commitment to patient-centered care. The team's determination to honor both scientific rigor and emotional truth was a rallying cry for a future where empathy and innovation go hand in hand. And in that future, no protocol would ever be too rigid to accommodate the undeniable healing power of love and loyalty, as exemplified by Rex's unwavering presence beside Robert Mitchell. In the days that followed, the hospital transformed into a place of renewed hope and innovation. Robert's remarkable recovery and the undeniable bond he shared with Rex had touched every heart within those sterile walls. The once rigid policies slowly gave way to a compassionate vision, one that recognized the healing power of loyalty and the importance of honoring a patient's emotional needs alongside their physical recovery. Doctors, nurses, and administrators came together to formalize a new protocol that balanced safety with empathy, marking a turning point in patient care. The archived research, once forgotten, now served as a guiding light for future therapies, rekindling a legacy of groundbreaking work that proved healing extends far beyond medicine alone. Outside, community members rallied in support. Neighbors, local businesses, and even former skeptics shared stories of how a devoted dog had not only saved a life but also reawakened a commitment to care with heart and understanding. The impact of this singular act rippled through families and institutions alike, reminding us that true healing comes from embracing the full spectrum of our human experience. As our story comes to a close, we invite you to join the conversation. If Robert and Rex's journey has inspired you, please like, share, and comment below with your thoughts. Help us spread this powerful message by subscribing to Acts of Kindness Stories. Let's reach 10,000 subscribers and continue to celebrate the incredible acts of kindness that change lives. Your support can spark more stories of hope, healing, and compassion. Thank you for watching and for being a part of this movement.